Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'll be getting started here momentarily. I put on here 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna get started at 9 o'clock. But I want to get started here early because I've had many people telling me that they are not getting notified that I'm alive until I've already ended the live or toward the end of my live. So I'm gonna start a little earlier, so maybe that'll help the notifications pop up for certain people. So, but I have a I think a very, very, very eye-opening and important live show today. Speaking about crime and some specifics, comparing Montgomery with other cities of similar size, as well as cities that are much larger than Montgomery. And looking at their, I got a couple articles that I'm going to speak on as far as their policing in other cities. Issues that they have in their police department, morale issues, pay, whatever the issues are. I got a couple articles to read about that, and hopefully, just this will be an informational and educational show today, as well as I will be covering, of course, the mass shooting in Montgomery that happened. Excuse me, that just happened last night or night before last, I should say. Um, so got a lot to discuss. Lot to discuss. Let's see here. Let me get my maintenance going. Hope everybody's having a good Monday morning, a great start to the week, the work week. Shout out to all the group pages that allow me to share my content. I appreciate it. City Watch Wetumpka, City Watch Montgomery, A Better Montgomery, Montgomery needs a new mayor, Decisions with Kevin Elkins, of course, my own group from Left to Right USA. I appreciate y'all for allowing me to share the content. Think it's very, 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 important for people to be able to access this information and be able to speak to one another and have dialogue about what's happening right here in our own city, right? Um, and again, I will be getting started here momentarily at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, I will be officially beginning the show. I started a little early just to get people to see the notification, to see that I'm live. I had a lot of people saying that they are not getting a notification or seeing that I'm live until the very end or after I've already ended. So trying to avert that. Mm, mm, mm. All right, getting started here momentarily. As y'all come in, hit that like. I appreciate that. Hit the like, share the video. That helps get more eyes on the content. Let's see. All right, all right. Welcome in. This is the Captain's Quarter Show. I am your host, Milliner, the captain. Thank you all for being here this morning and watching and listening. Shout out to everybody that has liked and followed my page on Facebook. I do appreciate it. I reached over 100 yesterday. I think I'm at like 103 or something like that now. Appreciate it. So keep on sharing the videos, liking it. I appreciate it a lot. Um, a lot of people wonder why it's important to even do something like this. I see people asking all the time. It's important because it's just like why people watch the news. It's why people listen to radio, um, or people are always wanting information. They always need access to more information, better information, and I just provide a platform where people are able to um listen to an honest commentary, right? So I'm gonna present you with the facts, right? Whether I like it, love it, hate it, whatever, I'm gonna give you the facts of the situation based on the reports that we have. What we have, I'm gonna present that to you, right? Based on whatever the situation is. Then I'm going to give you my honest commentary on that information, right? So like it, love it, or hate it, whatever it is, I'm gonna just give you the real. That's what I'm gonna do. So this show today is going to be educational and informative, all right, about crime in Montgomery compared to other cities that are similar in size and even some that are much larger in comparison to Montgomery. And I think some people would be a little bit surprised to see, some of these numbers, right? Um, and also, let's talk about first off before we get to that. Let's go through some of these latest incidents that have happened here in Montgomery, right? We had Thursday night, there was a neighborhood in Montgomery called County Downs. All right. If you don't know about County Downs, that's a very established neighborhood, very decent. It's off Atlanta Highway, right near Dalrata area. And talking about low crime, you know, I've growing up, I never heard anybody talk about County Downs being, a bad place to live. It was to me growing up, it was the place to live, right? Huge houses to me back then, huge houses, 2-story homes and 4 bedrooms, whatever, 5 bedrooms, whatever it is, but just a great neighborhood. Well, the other night, there were several individuals. I don't know if they were teenagers, young adults, don't know, but it looked like about 3, 4 individuals that shot up a house, right? Apparently right before midnight, they shot up the house and fled on foot. And this is on video. So there's video of the uh the shooting. You can hear the gunfire, and then you can see the individuals fleeing the situation. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to pull that up, and this is gonna be from WAKA. I'm gonna pull in so we can see. exactly what happened in that. Make that a little bigger.
To the 500 block of County Downs Road after investigating a shooting in a neighborhood just off Atlanta Highway, and it's all caught on camera. In this video provided by an Action 8 News viewer who wanted to remain anonymous, you can hear several rounds of gunfire. Major Saba Coleman tells Action 8 News that officers responded Thursday just before midnight to the 500 block of County Downs Road after receiving a call of a shooting. Once officers arrived, they made contact with a homeowner who said there was damage to her residence as a result of gunfire. Thankfully, no one was injured. No word on any suspects at this time.
Right, and of course, there's no word on suspects, right? There never is. There's never suspects. I don't know, man. It's crazy how these shootings always happen, and it's like, I don't know, man. People never see anything. It's the weirdest thing to me. And it's gonna be even weirder because we're gonna talk about that mass shooting as well, and how nobody's been arrested in that either. Um, but yeah, so this happened Thursday night, County Downs neighborhood. We're talking about one of the premier neighborhoods of Montgomery, Alabama. I mean, one of the most established, been around since I can ever remember, been around since before I was born. All right. This happened out there. So then let's talk about the mass shooting that happened. Now, this is not the first mass shooting in Montgomery. All right. Not even the first this year. Um, and a matter of fact, there was a mass shooting in the bowling alley, all right, on Atlanta Highway. Atlanta Highway's been going through it, man. I swear. Atlanta Highway has been going through it last year and this year. A lots going on. But there was a shooting in the bowling alley, Bama Lanes, all right. No knock on Bama Lanes, man. I mean, I don't know what more you can really do if you're the establishment, but um they had the mass shooting where I think one person died and there were like 2, 3, 4 people that were hurt. I believe it happened last year. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on that. There are so many shootings and violent incidents that happen. I can't keep up with the timeline of every single one, but that happened. And the way it was talked about was they didn't make it seem like it was a mass shooting. They didn't tell it like it was. They, just said it was like a I don't know what they said, mass casualty event or, just a shooting and just so happened somebody fired their gun and multiple people got hit, right? It's like that's a mass shooting. Literally a mass shooting is when 3 or more people are injured or die in that shooting, all right? And they're at the same place, same time, and 3 or more get hit, right? That's a mass shooting. That's the fundamental definition of it. Okay? So that was one. And then of course everybody remembers what a few weeks back. I don't even know if it's been a month yet, but the Hispanic store on Troy Highway, 3 individuals were shot and killed in that incident, and they called that a triple homicide, right? Triple mass shooting. Okay, it was a mass shooting. Three again, 3 people, same place, same time. 3 people hit, and in that situation, they all died, right? And God bless them and their families because that should not have happened. Right? No reason why it should happen. Um, people always say, well, when somebody comes to a store, if they're there to rob you, they just want the money, right? They just want money. They want a phone, watches, jewelry, whatever they can get their hands on, and they're gonna flee, right? That ain't always the case. And I'm not sure if they try to spin that into it was a robbery that like went bad, but look, a person went to a place, right? He wasn't there to give out hugs and kisses, all right? So I don't care whether he was there to rob, whatever his in his mind he wanted to do. or she. I don't even have we even found if they have they found the suspect? I don't think so. But anyway, the individual goes there. Doesn't matter what they're there for per se. What happened was they opened fire and they killed 3 people. Right? That had nothing to do with anything other than 2 individuals that are running their store, running their business, and then you have a customer who's just shopping, right? Anyway, mass shooting. So here we are. We come to this mass shooting over in North Pass, which is in North Montgomery, um, kind of close to the Montgomery Zoo, kind of in that area. Um, but yeah, uh, 13 people. All right, 13 people were injured. Okay, uh 9 were shot. Right, and the other 4 they were hit by cars that were fleeing the situation, and then you had somebody that was hit with glass, with shattered glass. And so, yeah, see, hey, check this out. That's the face you make when you're the mayor of Montgomery, Alabama, and you're about to figure out a way to spin the narrative to where you as mayor don't get blamed, right? This is the face you make when you know you're about to lie and you're about to spin the narrative away from you and put it on the community. Because that's exactly what the man did. He put it on the community. It's our fault that this stuff is happening in our community. According to what he said, because I'm gonna definitely play this video, not right now, not this second, but I will play the video, and you're gonna hear him put the blame on us, the community, right? Anyway, let's see here. Oh man, a total of 13 people were injured in an early Sunday morning mass shooting in Montgomery. 9 people were shot and 4 others were injured at a crowded party in the area of North Pass Road and Alabama River Parkway. Montgomery police and paramedics responded there just after 1:45 a.m. Mayor Stephen Reed said in a statement, okay, that more than 300 rounds were fired in the shooting. In his initial statement, Reed said over 600 rounds were fired, but that number was changed late Sunday afternoon to 362 after further review by authorities. 362. That's what they know of. That's what they found, right? Who it could have been 600. I mean, we don't know that. But anyway, um, there's not a lot of information here as far as about the victims. Just not a lot of information here about the victims, or it's just more so the city is coming out, speaking about what happened and talking about ATF is involved. They got the feds involved, and they got the state helping out, and they got the county helping out, and they got everybody's helping out, right? Um, but so now I want y'all to listen to. We're gonna listen to the beginning, right? The first portion of this, because he's only gonna speak for a little bit. Then the acting chief is gonna speak for a moment, and then there's gonna be a lady from ATF that's gonna speak for a moment. All right, and then after that they're gonna take questions. So it's not very long. So let's run this and see. Here your mayor spin the narrative away from the blame from him and put it on us because we're the community and it's our fault, right? Let's see here. All right, let's go.
Good afternoon. I'm proud to be standing before you today.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Well, did I hear him correctly? He's proud to be standing there. He's there because there was a mass shooting in Montgomery. Mass shooting. And the first sentence he says is, "I'm proud to be standing here." I know it's June, and that's his favorite month. But my God, the first thing you want to say is you're proud. That's not the way you start a press conference after a mass shooting. That's not the way you do it, man. What is happening? He's proud to be standing in front of you, right? Because there was a mass shooting and he's proud to be here. That's what he just said. Anyway, I'm just the messenger.
Along with our law enforcement officers, Montgomery Police Department, Acting Chief John Hall, as well as our representatives from the ATF, and certainly our City Council President, C.C. Calhoun. I'm not proud to be standing here today talking about another issue of gun violence in our city.
Oh, I'm glad you cleaned that up, right? Because I mean, I know Chip Hill is somewhere around. If y'all know who Chip Hill is his chief of staff. He's like the diabolical scientist behind the diabolical chief. All right, he's the kind of guy that helps him with policy making and making him look good. All right. I know Chip Hill was somewhere like, ugh. Don't say that, Mayor. Don't start off that way, right? Like, the way we want to start, right? Let's you gotta clean that up. At some point, you gotta clean that up very quickly. All right. And so he cleaned it up and said, he's not proud to be standing here, based on the incident that occurred, right? Boy, that's a rough start to the press conference.
This senseless act is something that should not happen. Those that were a part of this, we are certainly looking for who perpetrated this crime, not only on the victims, but also on the entire community. This is something very serious, and we are concerned about those who have been injured. Our sympathies go out to them and their families. But we've got to make sure that in our city, there's a greater appreciation for life, there's a greater appreciation for conflict resolution, and there's a greater appreciation for de-escalating situations without pulling the gun. These events cannot continue to happen. We will not stand for it. We will not be satisfied until we're doing everything at the local, state, and federal level.
Now, as he talks, I want you to listen real closely and let me know if he takes blame for any of these incidents that are occurring in Montgomery as it relates to crime, right? And then listen and see, does he push the blame anywhere else besides himself? Because he said he runs Montgomery. He said he runs MPD, and he said he's the CEO of Montgomery. So if you're all of that, then you should be taking some kind of accountability. But I want y'all to listen and tell me if he does that.
To find those who are part of these continued incidents. This senseless violence just has to stop. And there are too many outlets for people to get assistance, to get help without resorting to gun violence. It impacts too many innocent lives in our community. It impacts too many people. And so the fact that we're here today for what occurred overnight with multiple people shot and hundreds of rounds being found at the scene is discouraging, it's disappointing, but it also is frustrating. It also infuriates all of us here who are working to provide for a safer community in our city for everyone, regardless of where they live. And so I just wanted to bring a few comments to you before I turn it over to Chief Hall to speak to some of the specifics. But I want to say this, not only as it relates to last night's incident, but those that have happened recently. We will continue to work with our law enforcement partners in this effort to reduce gun violence in our community. We will leave no stone unturned. We're looking for best practices and implementing those as we speak. And I'm really proud by the response we've gotten from those at the local, state and federal level and outside agencies to assist us. But let me say this before I turn over to Chief Hall. It's not just on law enforcement to do this. They cannot carry the burden alone. We have to have individual responsibility and accountability for what's happening in our city. Those who know what happened need to come and let us know who was involved and why they were involved. There are anonymous ways to do that, but you cannot expect to be in a safer community if you are part of the problem. We're asking those to be part of the solution who are innocent bystanders, who know where some of these individuals reside and who know what is leading them to this type of activity. So we're calling on our community to do their part, to help law enforcement. It doesn't matter how many officers. We can have 3 times the officers right now. We got 3 times the ATF agents, FBI, sheriff's deputies, ALEA. We could go down the list. They can't be on every corner policing every interaction and every situation. At some point, the people in the community have to be more accountable in assisting law enforcement to do their job. Where we know we have bad actors, we need you to let us know.
What? Yo, what I say? He can never take any accountability. Now, once does he say, as the mayor of this city, you know, I've dropped the ball, or I've got to do better. I've got to make sure that we're putting this city in a better position to win. I've got to make sure that my police department is, you know, strong, fully staffed. I have their backs. I want this city to prosper. Right? Nowhere does he take any type of accountability. He wants to put it on us. It's our fault. It's the community's fault. This guy, man, I swear, man. And people are gonna watch this and be like, man, y'all always trying to put it on the mayor, man. What can he do? He ain't lying, because he said that, you know, he can't be on every corner. They can't put police and ATF and the county sheriff and all them on every corner and stop every shooting. Man, no, Sherlock. Right? No, we know this already. Right? That's common sense. But if you're the leader of the city, you're the mayor. You said you're the CEO. You run MPD and you run the city of Montgomery. You got to take some type of accountability. Don't sit up here and keep telling us it's our fault. We ain't do it. This dude here, man. So my thing is, if you're not going to take accountability, don't put it on us. Don't put it onto the city. Don't make it be our issue. It's our fault. Don't put it on us. If you're not going to take responsibility, don't put it on us. Just say there was a rogue individual or some rogue individuals that are out here committing these crimes and hurting people in this community, and it's their fault. Just say that. This dude, I swear, man, and these fools go out here and voted for this guy. He said he was diabolical, and he meant what he said. When people tell you who they are and what they are about, you should listen and take heed.
Know where we have bad actors, where we know we have people that are known troublemakers. We need you to let us know that. So
man,
then we can do our part to be more proactive as opposed to reactive. And so our law enforcement community is doing everything they can to make this a safer community. We tip our caps to them. We're grateful for all the work that they do each and every day. They don't sleep. They're working all the time to serve and protect this community. But we need the community to do the same thing. We need the community to have that same level of commitment to what they.
I don't know what happened. I guess the cat got his tongue. I don't know. Yo, that's wild. That's wild. This dude here, man. I swear. What type of mayor do we have? What type of mayor do we have? Yeah, look, I'll link that. Y'all can watch the rest of it. Man, I don't know, man. Every time he does a press conference, he bigs up law enforcement. You know, right? He talks about a great job they're doing and all this stuff. Like that's fine and cool. I don't have no issue with you bigging up the law enforcement, right? I love law enforcement. I respect them. Thank you for the service. We need law enforcement, okay? But my God, don't get up here and not say anything about what you're not doing as mayor or what you may be doing that you shouldn't be doing. God forbid you do that. But then you're gonna get up there and not mention yourself, but then throw it on us. The community gotta be more involved, and the community gotta be speaking up. In the community, we can't do anything as law enforcement if the community ain't involved. And we need, like, bro, we know this. We understand. I'm not saying that we don't play a part. We all play a part in it. But don't just put it on us. You're the mayor. Man, so again, I've done, man, show after show after show, and I've said it over and over again. Montgomery, we are in trouble. Trouble. We got Mayor Reed up there. We got an acting chief. He's not even a interim chief. From what I've heard, he don't even want to be the interim chief. He don't even want to be in that position he in right now. He just there because they don't have nobody else that can get up there, apparently. So he's just filling in. I mean, he just kind of there, and man, he don't want to be there. A lot of these people don't want to be in position under Mayor Reed. That's why we're like, what, half staff in MPD? My God, man. But yo, while he was talking, this is crazy. While he was having this press conference about the mass shooting on the north side, while he was having that, there was another incident that was happening like at the same time. I kid you not. Let me find that article real quick. There was a woman who got shot and killed off of Troy Highway, at corner of Troy Highway and Bell Road. That's my old stomping ground. I grew up feet away from where this happened. You could walk and be at this spot from where I grew up in like 2-3 minutes. I grew up right there. And yeah, let me pull this in. This is crazy. He's in the middle of a press conference, and while they're doing that, a woman is getting killed. So here you go. Let's see. This is from WSFA. Man, woman killed in separate weekend Montgomery shootings. Right. So there was the mass shooting, and then of course there were other shootings where people died as a result. I think we're at like 30. We got to be like right around 40 homicides at this point. We got to be like, if we're not at 40, we're right like 38, something like that. Let's see here. So Montgomery police are investigating 2 deadly weekend shootings. According to MPD, units were called to the 300 block of Burgwin Road around 9:26 p.m. Saturday night. They found 26-year-old Jamonte Rivers with a gunshot wound. Rivers was pronounced dead at the scene. Okay. That deadly shooting happened hours before the 9 people were shot. With 13 injured at the mass shooting on the north side. And then in a separate incident reported by police Sunday evening, right? A woman was shot in the 4,000 block of Troy Highway. MPD responded to the scene around 5:11 p.m. The victim, who has not been identified, was pronounced dead at the scene. And there is a video. I'm not showing that video. Out of respect for the individual that lost her life, I'm not going to show that. But there was a video that I saw. I saw it last night. There was a couple individuals that were, showing her laying there on the sidewalk, and they were actively performing CPR, right? And I'm not showing that. So let's see here. So, no, no suspects, of course, right? I mean, I read this article and I see nowhere where anybody from the mass shooting to the man that got killed on Bergwin Road, Mr. Rivers, to the lady on Troy Highway, nobody's been arrested at this point, right? It's like they have no clues or anything. Like no one knows what's going on. They didn't see nothing. They don't know nothing. I mean, it's crazy, crazy. Man, God bless these people, man. I don't know all the specifics of what's happening as far as what prompted any of these shootings, okay? But we got to do better as far as we got to do better in our homes, man. First off, I know I give grief to Mayor Reed or anybody that's in the leadership of Montgomery. I'm definitely gonna be the first one to say they take a whole piece of the pie when it comes to blame, but they don't supersede you mamas and daddies from raising your kids, man. We got to raise our kids better. We need to raise our kids better, man. We're not raising little demons, right? The monsters. We can't be doing this. We got to do better. We need more mommies and daddies that's raising these kids. But once these kids leave our homes, now they're in, they're in the public. That now they're in the jurisdiction of the city leadership, right? The police, the mayor, city council, like they have the greatest impact when it comes to outside your home. What the atmosphere is like. When they're soft on certain crimes and things, other things happen as a result. And so I saw a lot of people, especially when a lot of these young people commit crimes. I've seen a lot of people talk about a curfew. They want a curfew. Here's the thing about a curfew. Number one, there's no data that says that having a curfew is going to reduce the crime. Okay? It's just no data. All right. Now, here's the thing about that as well. The curfew does no good because of this. The parents are not, if you don't do a curfew, you're going to probably have a curfew for juveniles, right? So if they're a juvenile, that means that their parent is responsible for them. Well, if you're not going to punish the parent for allowing their child to break a city curfew, then what are we doing? Because who's going to, so you're gonna find a child that's out at 1:00 in the morning, and then what's gonna happen? They're gonna reach out to the parent and say, hey, your little JoJo is over here, walking through this neighborhood he doesn't live in, we'll bring him home to you. Are they gonna arrest the kid or are they gonna take him back to his parent? Probably take him back home to the parent, right? Because that's gonna keep down having to do paperwork and just all, you could have time spent on, going and taking care of something else that's more pertinent, that's more immediate than getting a child to his parent, right? But ladies and gentlemen, we don't even have the law enforcement to even make contact. What law enforcement is going to make contact to enforce a curfew? They can't even pull over cars that's speeding, driving reckless, you know what I'm saying, running red lights. They can't even do that. So there's people on ATVs riding up and down Where's Ferry, Atlanta Highway, all over the place. They can't take care of that type of stuff. Why are we going to add a curfew that won't be enforced? Because there's not enough law enforcement to even take care of that issue. Right? We have to take care of what's in front of us first. This is where we missed the mark. Right? I hope people are really paying attention to this. Because this is where we missed the mark. We are always looking for something existentially, something outside of the situation that's going to come in and we'll do that thing and that thing is going to fix it. But if you don't have the police, if you don't have the proper strategy in place, if you have a mayor who doesn't care enough about it to do anything other than just talk about what could happen or what we could do or what we hope to do, nothing's getting done. So why are we going to add a curfew when we're not taking care of the basic stuff already? Right? If you're the manager of a Walmart and you have an employee that is not really, doing their job correctly, right? Okay. In the instance of them not doing it, what do you do? Do you just say, hey, you're fired because you didn't do this job right here correctly? You're doing the job, but you're not doing it correctly. Like, you're not doing it to your full potential. You don't just fire somebody because of that, right? You don't just bring in a new person. No, you train the person that's right in front of you. The employee that's right here in front of you that's not doing the job correctly, you train them and you correct them in how to do their job. And then they get better, right? You don't just say, hey, you out the way. Let me go get a brand new person that don't know anything about working at Walmart and doing the job of, our protocols and whatnot. Let me bring that person in. That's not going to help because they don't know what they're doing either. You know what I'm saying? So we got to take care of what's in front of us. We have a mayor that's in place, right? As what he is, all right? But he's in place, and we're expecting certain things to be done that's going to help the situation that's not going to help the situation because he's in place and he don't care about crime. I don't know what he has to say and do to get it through to people. He does not care about crime. If he cared about crime, we would have a better staff police force. First of all, that's number one. I mean, that's basic. That's nothing, that's extraordinary. That's not a huge ask to say, hey, can we have a 85% staff police department? 85%. I think we're at what, like, we got, they claim that we got 280 or 290. All right. We're supposed to have like 500. Okay. So we like around 60%. I just say 60% staff. That's terrible. That's a basic thing. We can't get that right. Let's not look over here and say, let's do a curfew. That's just not smart. Okay. It's not smart. Let's take care of what's in front of us. We need police. We need police. And we don't need another budget, any money added to the budget. Didn't the mayor just get done talking about last year and this year? He keeps saying there's a surplus of money. We got a surplus of money. First time in history of Montgomery, we got a surplus of money. Well, why aren't you using it to hire police? Instead, you go and tell the city at the city hall, man, we need $6 million. I got this idea for $6 million. What do you need more money for? You just said that you have a surplus of money. Use that money. Fool? Like, what are you talking about? This dude's a joke. A joke. Let's see. Larry Johnson Sr. said, join the police department. Don't nobody want to hear all this complaining, man. But you hear listening to the complaining. So much so that you're actually going to comment to me to stop complaining. So you're going to complain to me about my complaining. That makes a lot of sense. I appreciate it. Oh man. But to answer your to answer that, join the police department. I wouldn't work for MPD. I'm not working for a mayor. The mayor has shown that he does not care about his police. Who wants to go work for him? That's why they're leaving. You must not live in Montgomery. Because, I mean, the reason why the MPD is like 60% staff now is because they don't want to work for Mayor Reed. I mean, you're telling me to go work for Mayor Reed. And I'm telling you right now, the reasons why they're short staffed and the city is in chaos. I mean, wow. But yeah, thanks for the comment though. Hit that like too. Appreciate it. Yo, we got a lot of issues, but I do want to talk about some other cities, right? Because we often, especially politicians, man. Mayor Reed, Mayor Reed is an expert at doing this, right? He likes to spin the narrative, right? So he's often said crime is happening everywhere, right? Anytime somebody tell you, like you tell them that there's an issue going on, and then they tell you that it's everywhere, that means they don't care about what you're talking about, and they don't care about the issue. Because when they say it's everywhere, that means that's them saying, look, there ain't nothing I can do about it. It's just one of them things. It's happening. We got to just ride the wave and hope for the best. That's what that's telling you without telling you. All right. So, because when there's an issue, you say, hey, the issue is this right here. Let's direct our energy toward fixing that. Not just saying, oh, it's everywhere, nothing we can do about it. But he has said that, and so I want to go through Montgomery stats, and then I'm going to mention some other cities that are very close in population size to Montgomery, almost exactly. All right. And we're going to talk about their homicide numbers and some issues that they're having in their police department. Now, first, Montgomery, population of about 200,000 based on 2020 census. Now, of course, it's less than that because people are moving from Montgomery. But it was 205,000 in 2010 for comparison. So from 2010 to 2020, it dropped by about 5,000 people. So we're losing population. Now, in 2010, there were 25 homicides in Montgomery. 25. 2011, 31 homicides. 2012, 32 homicides. 2013, there were 50 homicides. That was the year that a lot of people know, Dobie, a rapper from Montgomery. He was shot and killed at Centennial Hill, which was the old Rose Supper Club, right? That was the peak. I had never seen 50 in my lifetime. So that was the most, right? And then 2014 went down to 36. 2015, 37. 2016, 34. Y'all see a pattern here? 2017, 44. 2018, 38. So we've since 2010, we've kind of gone from the mid 20s to the low 30s, and then we had a little peak in 2013, and then after that, it's been right around 40, but not too far under, not too far over, right? In 2019, 42, right? So that Mayor Reed took office 2019. We had 42 homicides. In 2020, we broke the homicide record in Montgomery, 69 homicides in 1 year. Now, people said, well, that was the COVID pandemic year, right? Crime was up everywhere. That's what everybody said. Crime was up everywhere. It's not just Montgomery. All right. Okay. All right. In Augusta, Georgia, right, with a population of 200,000 as well. And as a matter of fact, Augusta, Georgia has a city-county consolidated government situation, right? So whereas Montgomery is a city operated, right? It's not Montgomery and Montgomery County. It's Montgomery City. We have a mayor. Augusta, Georgia is in Richmond County, right? And so they have a consolidated thing. So for the Augusta County, and Richmond County, 200,000 people, they had 43 homicides in 2020. Same size, 43 homicides. Columbus, Georgia, 80 miles directly east of Montgomery. They got 206,000 people. In 2020, they had 46 homicides. I don't know what's happening. Fayetteville, North Carolina, population from 2020 census, 208,000. In 2020, they had 34 homicides. 34. We had 69. And I gave y'all 3 cities that are bigger than Montgomery and one had 43, 46, and 34. Little Rock, Arkansas, same population, about 205,000. 2020, they had 55 homicides. Now, here's the thing. All of these cities, these numbers are extremely high compared to what their populations are. Just telling you, this is ridiculous. But their numbers in 2020 were what our numbers were back in 2013, 2014. Way before a pandemic in 2020. Their numbers were on pace with that. And we're way surpassed that. We hit 69. That was the record in that year for Montgomery. Now in 2021, Montgomery we broke that record, right? So we hit 77 homicides. 77. Augusta, Georgia had 31. 31. Fayetteville, North Carolina had 48. Little Rock, Arkansas had 65. And if anybody knows about Little Rock, Arkansas has since the 90s, it's been a rough city, right? They have a lot of gang issues there, and they have had them since the 90s. So there have been documentaries and everything made about Little Rock. So just saying, we our numbers are higher than theirs. That's not saying that's not helping us out at all, right? Let's see what else I got here. 2022, Montgomery had 62 homicides, right? 62 homicides. Columbus, Georgia. Oh, and by the way, Columbus, Georgia had 45 in 2022. But in 2021, Columbus, Georgia hit 70 homicides. That's the most they've ever had. Most they've ever had, 70. Right? And then in 2022, they went down to 45. And mind you, remember, 2020, they had 46. So they went right back to where they were in pandemic year. And Fayetteville in 2022, they had 44 homicides. So they're right there with Columbus. Columbus had 45, Fayetteville had 44. Man. So now here's the thing about some of these cities. So I give y'all the demographics too, because demographics kind of tell you a story. I know people don't like. I've had people tell me they don't like stats. Stats are they don't tell you the whole truth, right? Which is fine and cool. They really, they don't tell you the whole story because they're just numbers, right? But they do tell you a story. And I'm a person who I don't even believe in race. It's just made up. It's just made up, right? There's no racism and race and all that crap. You got love and you got hate. That's it. But these demographics are based on Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, etc. Okay. And in Montgomery, our, quote unquote white population is about 28%. Black population is about 60%. Asian 3.5, Hispanic 5%. Right now, in comparison, let's use Augusta, Georgia. Almost the same exact population, but they have way less homicides than we do. They have a white population of 32%, so that's very close to I-28. It's not that far off. Black 55%, so that's not very far off. We're at 60, they're at 55. Hispanics, they're at 5.5, we were at 5. And then Asian, they have 2%, and we were at 3.5. So their demographics are very close to our demographics, but yet they have less homicides, like far less homicides. Why is that? I wonder why that is. Now, let's look at Fayetteville, North Carolina, who also has far less homicides than we have had, especially in the last 4 or 5 years. They have a black population of 42%, white population of 34.5%, Hispanic population is 12.5%. That's pretty high, and then Asian 3%. So Fayetteville's population is very a lot more even, right? A lot more even. 42, 34, and then 12.5% for Hispanic. It's very even, right? And I actually lived in Fayetteville for a couple years. I lived there. And I can definitely tell you, that city is very, very similar to Montgomery. Very similar to Montgomery. As far as, like I said, population is almost exactly the same. They got Fort Bragg there. We have Maxwell Air Force Base. Even their metro area is like 370, 380,000. Ours is too. We almost mirror images of each other. But we have way more homicides and violence happening. They have a lot of property crimes. I know that just from living there. Their property crimes are some of the highest, but violent crime is not that high. And what I noticed about living in Fayetteville is they had a great respect for their police department. At least when I lived there. And I lived there back in from like 2012 to 2014. And they had it was very important to them to respect their law enforcement, and they just looked out for them. I noticed that. It was very apparent. They had like signs all over the place talking about law enforcement, and they just take pride in that. Now, to me, the demographics kind of show, when you look at a lot of cities, the higher the black population, typically the higher the homicide rate. And if you look at the white population, if it's a higher white population, the lower the homicide rate. There just tends to be, if you look from city to city to city, there tends to be a factor that plays in it. Now, I would say that factor is not because of the skin color of these people, because let's be honest, a lot of these people who are identifying as black aren't really, what y'all would think in your mind is black, right? They may be Hispanic, they may be Native American, they could be, whatever, mixed race, you know what I'm saying? A half breed like myself. A lot of half breeds like to say that they're black, right? But they may have white, they may have Native American, Hispanic, Asian, something else in there, right? But they claim black. So that's why this whole race thing is just stupid. But so to me, skin color doesn't dictate your actions, doesn't dictate your behavior, right? That's based on the way that you're raised, who raises you and how they raise you, not where you're raised or what you look like. That does not dictate who you are as a person, right? How your behavior is. So the behaviors that you're raised in, or raised to have, what's allowed in your household, what's allowed in the schools, and what's allowed in your everyday life. That's going to help determine the type of actions that you do, right? And that's culture. Culture is the way people act within a certain group, right? It's the standards of the discipline. Um, that's the culture. And so if you build a culture of respecting people, loving God, respecting boundaries with people, being kind to others, then if you have that as the culture, then you're gonna have a better society. Better society. It's not about being black or being white and whatever. It's not about that. It's not about that. Because check this out. By and large, Asians are very uh respectful people. They're very I think it's the right word, docile, right? They're very reserved people, very conservative type people, very family oriented. So they are highly disciplined. And so when they raise their kids are taught to be respectful. They're taught to like be on time and respect other people. Go to school, you sit there, you learn, you don't cause chaos in the classroom. They study a lot, which is why they have some of the highest math and science scores in the world. Um, but that's not every Asian culture, right? I could say that's Japanese culture, but that may not be like Filipino culture. That may not be Cambodian culture, right? They're a little different. They're all Asian, but they're not the same. Now you can take we're talking about Japanese people. Well, you can take a Japanese child, raise that Japanese child in the hood in America, right? Raise them up from birth. Parents are Japanese, right? They were raised Japanese. He's being raised American in the hood. And I bet you if you raise that kid up in a hood mentality, I don't care what the genetics say, he gonna be a hood person, right? If you raising them up around the violence, drug dealing, teaching him that stealing is okay, robbing people is okay, we just trying to get by, sell drugs, do whatever. That child is going to take on the the principles and the lifestyle of those who are raising him. That's not anything that had to do with color. That's culture. So now let me also go into I mentioned some cities that are almost exactly the same size as Montgomery who are not dealing with some of the same issues. Oh, and before I do that, I do have this article, and this is from Columbus, Georgia. It's from Columbus, Georgia, and they're talking about their police issues, right? Because I did mention Columbus had 46 homicides in 2020, and then they went up to 70 in 2021. Then they went back to 45 in 2022. But they were having issues with their police, and they kind of still are, as far as what I can see. Let's see here. Let me find it. Yep, there it is. There we go. So, all right. Uh, where am I at? Okay. So, yeah, police officers that were speaking out. All right, they're in Columbus because they were having some major issues. Now, it says it's no secret crime in Columbus is a hot topic, and this is from February of last year, 2023. So this was following let's see. This was following, 2 years of, we had 70 homicides and then 45. So this is right after that. The city has been dubbed the nickname Columbus, all right, due to the high ratio of crime in the last few years. With that in mind, a group of businesses in the private sector paid for an assessment of the police department to be completed by a consultation company called Jensen Hughes. The group came back with several recommendations based off their findings that the Columbus Police Department should consider implementing into their practices to better perform. Two of those areas of recommended improvement include morale and retention within the department, right? Morale is huge, right? Because we're seeing that right here in Montgomery. There's low morale, and there's why police are leaving. It's not always about money. MPD got the biggest raise ever last year. It was like a 15% increase in pay. Guess what happened? Police still left, right? So it ain't all about pay, right? Morale plays a huge part, probably the biggest part. The issue of morale within the Columbus Police Department has come up publicly before. In 2022, during a city council meeting, members of the local chapter of the Fraternal Order of Police, FOP, in Columbus voiced their concerns about the climate of the police department following a survey conducted of 232 of its members. Now, their FOP speaking out about the crime reminds me of Montgomery. Didn't our FOP just speak out about the crime and said, hey, Mayor, we love to partner with you and offer recommendations and figure out ways, better strategies for reducing the crime. And what did he say? They got their own agenda. I don't want to be bothered. He don't care nothing about that, right? Because they're offering solutions. He don't want to hear that. So very interesting that Columbus is dealing with a lot of the same things. The issue of let's see. The results of the survey of the 232 officers showed 84% of the officers surveyed gave Columbus Police Chief Freddie Blackman a vote of low confidence. And he's a black, quote unquote, black chief, right? Let's see the issue. So they sat down with 3 current CPD officers to gain a different perspective. At the request of the officers, they didn't give their name, they didn't show their face, all that good stuff, right? Because they probably get fired for doing the interview. So when the officers were asked the difference between current Chief Freddie Blackman opposed to his predecessor Ricky Boren, all right, who was a white guy, if I'm not mistaken, white guy. One officer said, with the old chief, you could go and sit and talk to him about problems, have open communication about the problems, and he would give you his answers right then and there. There was no, well, I'll hem and holler about this, or I'll tell you what I want you to hear and turn around and do something completely different. Officer number 2 followed and said, with Blackman, Freddie Blackman, it's that, let me get back with you. That's his favorite line. According to Officer 3, Freddie Blackman never gets back with you. The Jensen Hughes assessment contends the 90 interviews they conducted revealed a general feeling of distrust within the department, and a lack of communication from the chief was voiced frequently. Right? So communication, low morale, he's just basically not having their back. They don't feel heard. They don't feel respected. They don't feel valued. Okay? Now, News Leader 9, well, that's the news station, WTVM, they asked was there an issue with Blackman's race, right? Freddie Blackman being a black man, right? And the former chief was white. Officer 2 responded by saying this isn't a black thing. I'm a black female. He's incompetent. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't lead well. He can be a nice man to your face, but he is not a leader. wow. That, to me, this is very telling. And we're seeing almost the exact same thing play out right here in Montgomery, where the morale is low. We've gone through 2 police chiefs in the last couple of years. We got one of those police chiefs actively suing the city, right, for the way he was forced out. And then we got this latest chief that was in some type of scandal, apparently was sexually harassing at least one female officer, and she's suing. And so he's gone. Right? We're having similar issue. Can't keep a chief. The chief that's in place, obviously, they didn't want to work for him because they were leaving in droves. We were losing MPD officers in droves. Like, not just a couple here and there. A dozen leaving. A dozen more leaving. Weeks over weeks. Weeks over weeks. Now, let's go into comparing Montgomery with cities that are way bigger. Way bigger. So we got Austin, Texas. Coincidentally, Chief Albert, the one that just left because of the whole sexual harassment thing, allegedly, he put in for this job. They have an opening in Austin, Texas, police chief position, and Chief Albert put in for it. But anyway, Austin, Texas is a city of 960,000 people, almost 1 million people. It'll probably be at 1 million in the next, I don't know, 5 years. By 2030, they'll probably be at 1 million. If not before that. In 2020, they had 48 homicides. 48 homicides in 2020. Montgomery had 69. Just wow. 2021, they went up to 88. We had 77. Okay, granted, they had 11 more homicides than us. All right, granted, but you gotta understand, this city has 960,000 people. We got 200,000. That's the math ain't mathing. You know what I'm saying? That ratio makes 0 sense. That should not be happening. In 2022, they had 71, so they went down to 71. We had 62. In 2023, they had 73. We had 75. So we beat them out in 2023. Wow. I got another city. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Population 680,000 people. We have 200,000. Okay. In 2021, they had 82 homicides. In 2022, they had 74 homicides. In 2023, they had 75. So we matched them in homicides in 2023. In 2022, they were just 12 above us. In 2021, they were 13 above us. No. Take it back. We hit 77. So they were 5 ahead of us. Raleigh, North Carolina. Population 468,000. 33 homicides in 2021. 33. In 2022, 49. That was their record. They hit their record in that year. 49 homicides. We had 62 homicides in that same year. In 2021, we more than doubled their homicides. They have almost 500,000 people. We got 200,000. Like, let's put this in perspective. So when people are saying crime is happening everywhere, is going up everywhere, nah. I mean, it may be, let's say going up. Okay, if you have a city that's, having 33 homicides in 1 year, and then the next year they have 49 and break the record. 40, okay. But see, let's look at why that tends to be happening. Because don't forget, when 2020 happened, the whole pandemic, we already know they shut down everything, and that was the dumbest decision ever, was to shut down businesses and do all that stuff. Shut down schools. It just was stupid, right? And I was one of the people, I was out there talking about how stupid it was. I got a lot of flack for it, but fast forward to now, and now the same institutions and media that was calling people like me conspiracy theorists and stupid and not knowing what we're talking about, now they're saying that we were correct and it was a bad idea, because the ramifications of the actions that they took have hurt our kids and hurt our society, and we're having a hard time rebounding. Now, when they shut down everything, it ended up causing higher crime, because now you're forcing people to stay home. Most crimes are happening because of domestic violence issues. So now you're forcing people to stay home in environments that are already not the best, which causes issues. Then you're backlogging the court cases, right? Because they shut down the courts. So now they're still not caught up to all the backlog from 2017, 18, 19, 20. Like, they still haven't seen cases from years ago. So what happens is the resources are being stretched to a capacity that they can't do, right? If you have a city that has like 8 DAs or 8 prosecutors, and they're having all these cases from way back, they're having to research, and then they got new cases are popping up every day. They're pushed to capacity. They need probably 16 prosecutors where they have 8. So what happened was the government caused more issues, which has allowed more crime to occur and to be, no justice for those crimes. Also, what happened was all that defund the police propaganda was going everywhere. Montgomery was a part of that. You have cities like Raleigh, Austin, Texas. You have these cities that are more progressive cities. They're more liberal cities. And most of these cities matter of fact, Raleigh, Oklahoma City, Austin, Texas, Little Rock, Arkansas, Montgomery, all those I know have Democrat mayors. And by and large, the Democrat Party was pushing for defund the police. Did people forget this? In 2020, they literally were saying defund the police. Well, guess what happened? When you have less police, you have more crime. Oh my God, really? This is why we were saying in 2020, let's not do that. Let's not defund police. We need police. We needed police. But the reason why, and then they claim, well, the crime is everywhere because you're having less police. You're scrutinizing police in ways that you shouldn't be doing, which is forcing many of them that they quit, move somewhere else, go, transfer jobs, or you're defunding police, so they're having no choice but to leave because they don't have the budget. Of course, when you have less police, you have more crime. And that's why these cities like Raleigh, Austin, Texas, Oklahoma City have had increases in crime because they were a part of that whole defund thing. They were also a part of the overreaction of shutting down businesses and keep people inside and all that stuff, which caused more issues. education got impacted because kids were not in school. They did virtual, and that was not sufficient. Y'all see how everything kind of works in tandem with each other. When this is why politics matter. Politics matter because the people who are in charge of your kids' schooling, the people that are in charge of your police department, you're running your city, the people who are put in place that you elect to lead you and lead your city and keep you safe, when those people's ideology is because one person had a bad interaction with police and died, and that was 1,000 miles away, had nothing to do with your city. But when your mayor and when your people in leadership of your area, when they say, hey, as a result of that happening 1,000 miles away, we're going to make changes right here in Montgomery or right here, wherever you are. And when those changes are less police, less budget, put money somewhere, put money into other areas like social work, which doesn't happen, doesn't help, right? Because you need law enforcement. So they put money in other places. When they constantly are attacking the citizens for speaking up and speaking out at school board meetings, right? They were demonizing the parents for speaking up about schools being closed and things. But when you demonize the parents for just speaking up, you build this culture of we're the government, we're up here, y'all are down here. And so when we make these rules and these laws, you're going to abide by our rules and our laws. Right? That's just how it's going to be. So they said, back then, wear a mask. How many of your mayors and governors and stuff did y'all see walking around with no mask on? But you had to wear a mask. It was mandated. Right? That's what I'm talking about. It's that superiority complex. They're up here, we're down here. In their mind. But in reality, right, if we exercise what we're supposed to be as people, is we the people. We're up here and our elected officials are down here. They work for us. But we've allowed that to flip. And so now they just run things like a tyrant would do. And now they're whining and crying, talking about crime is so bad, what can we do? And you got Mayor Reed saying, not taking responsibility, not saying, look, man, I failed y'all. I should not have done defund police back in 2020 and 2021. I shouldn't be worried about pushing LGBT propaganda down y'all's throats. I shouldn't be worried about that type of stuff. I need to be helping my police department build back up, making sure that they know I have their backs. I'm going to do ride-alongs with them. You're going to see me in your neighborhoods. Instead of doing that, what does he do? The community needs to step up, and the community needs to be more vocal and let us know. We as law enforcement, they can't do their job if you people in the community don't help. Look, man. Look, you saying that a little too tough, my guy. All right, you saying that a little too tough, because if you're not gonna take responsibility for yourself, don't come tell us it's our fault. Okay, either we both have a part in it, or neither one of us does. How about that? How about that? But this is what we allowed to happen, and we get what we deserve, right? Like when you do certain things, you have a reaction to or consequence to that action that you took. We took an action of electing these certain individuals like a Mayor Reed. And as a result, we get what we get. High crime. Low morale in the police department. Small businesses don't want to open up in certain areas of the town. They all want to go to the east side or go downtown. They don't want to go to the west side. They don't want to go to the north side or the south side. This is the result. This is the result. Is there a way we can turn this around? Yes. We can turn it around. It can be done. But we gotta be smart about it. And here's the thing. People need to get more involved as far as if you don't want to be out here, at every meeting and that type of thing, understandable. Everybody can't be everywhere. Understand that. But you need to be aware of who, who whoever represents your district, right? Like city council. Let's start there. Whoever represents your district on city council, that's the most important thing that you need to be concerned with. Forget a president, forget a senator, um, all that. You need to be concerned about the mayor of your city and the city council man or woman that's representing your district. That's what you need to be concerned with. You need to know who that individual is, what they stand for, what they're about. You need to be able to contact that person if need be. Right? That's what needs to happen. We got to start there and stop looking at, all these other situations like judges and all that. Okay, we can get to that point, but we got to be able to do the basic stuff first. We got to get basic civics down. Let's take care of our local. Ask questions, research these people, call them. I try to get people on my show. I try to get these people that run for these seats and things, and I'm gonna make a bigger push for that next time around. Once the election cycle come back around, I'm gonna do my due diligence to reach out to these people, call them and everything to try to get each district's candidates on the show, right? Whether they come or not, that's on them. But I'm gonna do my due diligence to reach out and make sure that they know that I want them here because I'm gonna ask them questions that I think you all need to know. I think it's helpful for you to know. Like I did when we had the mayoral race this last go round in August of last year. And I had a couple guys that ran for mayor on the show. And I asked them questions that I thought were pertinent to them being mayor. And I thought the people would like to know those, answers to those questions. What's their faith and what's their platform? What do they see, what do they want to be done with police department? Do you support police? How are you gonna turn around what's already happened? Like those type of questions. But anyway, people went on over there and voted for Reed again. He showed you what he was about the first go around, and people still went back out there and voted for him again. Wow. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Mm. Mm. Gotta stop being insane in Montgomery. We gotta stop being insane. We gotta start doing things a little different, maybe. Maybe trying something a little different. And that's something right there. People like being in their comfort zone. People like being in the comfort zone. And when you're raised and you're taught that skin color is just so important, right? When people are taught that, you black and being black means, you come from kings and queens and your melanin is it means it got power, you got power in your melanin and stuff. When you teach kids this and they grow up and you taught them that the police are, they already looking down on you, or they already looking at you like you're a person that's about to go do something, commit a crime. When you go to school, your teachers, they expect you to not be able to, speak and read and do all this stuff because you look how you look. When you teach kids that society is against them because of their skin color, you ingrain that in their minds. And so when they grow up, they have a resentment for people. Number one, they're gonna have a resentment and a hatred for people for absolutely no reason. But it's been ingrained in them. And then when they go out here and they become a voting adult, and they have these politicians that are telling them, I'm black, I look like you look like me. You should vote for me because I got your best interest, right? And it's this Democrat snake. That's what they do. It starts from a young age, and you grow up, and then you look at that person and say, yeah, he does look like me. He speaks. He's a smart. That's a smart brother. He speaks well. I like, he got a little style. I like his swag and stuff. Yeah, I can dig that. And you go and vote for that person, and then all hell breaks loose. And then and when you come back around, you say, things aren't going quite how I expected them to go. But instead of voting for another person that's not black, right? Instead of giving them an opportunity, you say, nah, I would if they was, they were darker skinned, I would, but I gotta stay with Mary Reed because he still look like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's insane. That's insane, but there's a lot of people with that mentality. They have that mentality of they can't go against Mayor Reed because of his skin color. Like, they lead with that. Like, he looks like me. It's like, but he doesn't. He really doesn't though. Like, your skin, you way darker than he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm thinking in my mind when people tell me that. I'm like, but he's lighter skinned than you. Like, he's red compared to what you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look like, what I'm saying, you dark. Like, you know what I'm saying, Coco. Y'all don't look the same. You know what I'm saying? Or it'd be a dude that looks like me. People like, man, really look like me, man. I'm like, dude, you look like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? This is wild, man. Like, the whole color thing has just destroyed my generation. At least my generation has destroyed it. I am an anomaly, and I recognize it. I'm an anomaly. Cause there ain't many people that look at this stuff like me. They look at me like I'm crazy when I talk like this. But I tell people all the time, like, I'm American. But yeah, but you gotta be black and white, man. What you is a mix? Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm mixed with black. Yeah, I'm black. Yeah, I knew or something, man. I knew you had a little black or something in there. I knew you had a little something else going on with that black. Like, I can't just be American, man. Like, we all American. You know what I'm saying? If you go to Japan, you don't ask that person, are they yellow, right? You say, are you Japanese? You know what I'm saying? Chinese, Japanese, Korean, like, they don't go by color. This is a Western civilization thing. We do color thing. Christy VG. What's up, Christy VG? Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. As a white female, I support a black conservative any day of the week. Don't give me a white Democrat. Gag. Yeah. Yeah. Cause see, that game is what I was just talking about. Like, even the white Democrats, they do the same thing. They play on that whole race thing. They use that, and they'll say stuff like, they love to say, marginalized people, gentrified neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? They love to say stuff like, you gotta leave the 99 and go help the one, right? And there's always like a racial thing to it. Like, so you're gonna forget these people here because they are white, and you're gonna go over here to this black person because they're black, but they're black. I mean, it's just they claim to not be racist, right? In terms of the world racist, it's just hate. But they claim to be not racist, but then they specifically point out black people who they feel like need them, right? They feel like they're like a savior of these white people. I'm gonna come help these white people because these black people. I need to come help these black people because they are, less than and they can't do for themselves and they not educated and this and that and we gonna fix this. But you got white kids over here in the same predicament. No education, can't read, can't write. So you gonna like what are you gonna do? Just tell like you gonna leave one off and bring the other one with you? These people, they are weird. Why can't you just treat everybody the same way? How hard is that? How hard is it to just treat people fairly? Why you gotta worry about the color of their skin? Like that doesn't mean anything. Skin is nothing more than a protective layer to your body. It keeps you from getting sick. If you had no skin on your body, we would get sick and die. It literally protects us from bacterias and things that's in the air. You know what I'm saying? When people uh when you get an injury, your skin, it heals itself. If you didn't have skin, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be that way. But for whatever reason, people put skin over everything. But these folks will put skin over God. They can't be Christian first. They got to be black first. That's I swear. I literally see this stuff all the time. I grew up in it. They literally put black before God. And it's like they don't realize it. So when you ask them in the moment, like you be like, yo, do you believe that God is over color or color over God? Man, I believe in God. It's like, but you just said and your whole life is centered around being black. You're not centering around God and being Christ-like. It's more important to be black. You're black first. But you can't say that because then they're gonna get mad, boy. Christy said it boils down to what your worldview is. Mine is biblical. The Democrats' entire platform is antichrist. That's right. That is so right. I literally, for people who don't really know, because I know a lot of people that don't really know me like that, but I grew up being I guess you could say Democrat, right? So I grew up with having atheistic views. That's how I grew up. I wasn't pushed to go to church, although I had two granddads that were both pastors. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she did take me to church, quite a lot. But in my household, that wasn't encouraged and that type of thing. So I wasn't raised in the church like that. I wasn't raised to believe in God. So therefore, when I got older and it was time for me to vote at 18, who did I go vote for? Obama, because my worldview was it's about skin color, it's about black people being less than, we always, trying to come up, you know what I'm saying? Being held down. That was the view. So Obama looked more like me. Like I'm mixed race, he's mixed race. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like, you know what I'm saying? I had that connection. Like we're the same. So I'm voting for him. So I voted for him. And then he ran for re-election 2012. And I didn't vote in that one, but I still supported him. But in 2013, like really toward the end of 2012, but by 2013, my worldview was changed because God changed the way that I was looking at the world and looking at myself. Everything changed. And the things that I knew in my mind, back in my mind, I knew that certain things wasn't right, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And I was surrounded by anti-God beliefs. So it was like I was kind of like I was conflicted. But rather than really addressing that confliction, I just succumbed to the dark side. But in late 2012, 2013, I made a switch and I was like, I can't keep doing this right here. And so I really surrendered to God. I'm like, I wanna really learn about God and follow his ways. And so I changed. So I went from being on the dark side, supporting Democrat, abortion, and gay and LGBT stuff, to now in 2013, I'm watching or I'm listening to American Family Radio. I don't know if y'all know about them, but man, I was one of their biggest listeners in 2013. I would on my way to work in the morning listen to um what's the old guy? Oh man, I can't think of the guys' names. It was two guys that had a show. I would listen to them in the morning. I would get off work in the afternoon or nighttime, whatever, and I would listen to another show on American Family Radio. That was my routine. And like I'm listening to them, and I'm like, I had an open mind. I'm like, you know what? As I listen to what they're saying, let me just listen to what they have to say without being emotional about it. And when I listen to them, like, man, they're spitting facts. They're not lying in what they're saying. I can't refute what they're saying. They're telling the truth. And I'm like, as I grow in God, I'm like, yeah, that's a godly. They're speaking a godly answer right now. They're giving me, godly wisdom. And so, it was on from there. And I started really, looking at being at that point, like 2013, 2014, I started looking more at politics. That's when politics started becoming uh more interesting to me. And I wanted to understand more about it. Because before that, I was more anti-political. I didn't want to talk about politics, but I agreed with everything the Democrats were doing, which was crazy. I agree with them, but I was anti-political. I didn't want to talk about politics, and I thought it was stupid and all that. But fast forward, here we are. I'm doing this right here, and some people get it, some people don't get it, and that's cool. Because I was young and dumb, but I know I don't know about some people that's in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I don't know. I can't say I can't speak for them. Why they can't get it, but uh, when you're young, that's why I give grace to people, young people, especially young people. I give grace to them as far as when it comes to politics or when it comes to God or um, social issues. Like I give grace to a young person. I don't hold that so much against them because they are. I've been there, and so I know that they're learning and they're being faced with different issues, and they're having adults tell them, watch out for police and watch out for this, and you know what I'm saying. So they're impressionable. I get that. I get that. Now, if they out here, robbing and killing and stuff like that, no, I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking about that, right? If you just a menace to society, I'm not talking about giving grace for that. You need to go to jail. But when it comes to just politics and voting for whoever, and I give grace. I give grace. Definitely give grace to that. Right? 'Cause we most of us were young and stupid at one point. But that's why I'm here. Hopefully younger people will, tune in to stuff like this and kind of hear a different side than what they may hear every day. When they go to school, they're hearing it one way, right? We all know when you go to like the hood school, boy, everybody hate 12. That's what we call F12. You know what I'm saying? That's just one of the most common phrases you're gonna hear. When police pull up and you in the hood, everybody gonna be like, man, 12 here, F12. That's that if you know, you know. But hopefully they can listen to a different perspective and they'll kind of plant a seed in them where later on they'll be like, that person said something and it didn't make I ain't really like what he had to say, or I didn't like what she had to say, but now I can see what they kind of were saying. And then from there, they start growing. That's the hope. That's the hope. Cause we gotta figure out a way. We gotta we gotta really figure out a way. The way is raise your kids, right? Raise your kids to love God, respect other people, be productive members of society. That's what it is. Stop confusing them with having two daddies and two mamas and a daddy that look like a mama and a mama that look like a daddy. Like, don't set your kids up for failure. Cause out here in the real world, men get with women and they have children. Okay? There ain't no way around that. So let's teach our kids, common sense. Let's not confuse them and have them thinking all kind of weird stuff. That dogs can make cats and cats can make monkeys and monkeys can make kangaroos. No. In the real world, it's a mommy and a daddy. So let's keep it at the basic, right? Let's conserve. Let's be conservative, right? Let's conserve common sense instead of giving way to Satan and letting Satan just corrupt your mind in the minds of those little ones to where that now they growing up turning into what's old buddy name? What's buddy's name? That's like I think he's from Pennsylvania. He was like the health secretary or something. The dude that looks like a woman. Let me pull this dude up. I can't think of what his name is. Boom. There he is. Don't hold on, make sure there ain't no crazy pictures up here. Okay, make sure ain't nothing crazy picture. I don't want to put nothing up here that it's already traumatizing enough. I don't want to traumatize people with something crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, Rachel Levine. Here we go. Look, don't have your kids thinking that this is okay. Y'all see this right here? That's a man pretending and presenting to be a female. Don't have your kids thinking that's okay. All right, you confusing them. You gonna have them. You know what I'm saying? You have them messed up, man. We got to start the kids off right. You got to start off right. If you can't get the basic stuff, we talking about MPD in the city of Montgomery. The Mayor Reed, they can't get the basic stuff right. We got to get the basics right in life. Then you can go on and do, the bigger things. Man, they had a doggone pride event over there in Prattville yesterday at Cooters Pond Park. Yep, sure did. They said they had like 1,000 folks out there. Man, look. Oh man. If they need to bring back the mental institutions, they need to bring them back. Cause yesterday they could have gone out there to Cooters Pond and had when y'all know them big old nets that they used to catch people in back in the day. They just had them big old nets. They need to go out there with a big old net, like a helicopter, come down, drop a net down on all them people, all them idiots out there, all them mental cases. Drop that net down, pick a whole bunch of them up, pick about 40, 50 of them up at a time, and carry them off and drop them over there in some kind of mental institution somewhere. They need an evaluation, maybe some medication. I don't know. They need something though. You should not be a grown man wearing all these different hair colors and talking like, "Hey y'all," like you shouldn't be that shouldn't be your just the way you speak just in general speaking, right? You just out and about and you sound like you sound like Mariah Carey, right? From Glitter. Y'all remember Mariah Carey when she did Glitter? Don't talk like you shouldn't be walking like that and talking like that. You a grown man, right? I don't know about y'all. I don't trust no man. If you look like that, don't be around my kid. Don't be around my kid. If you talking and acting like that, don't do it. Just don't do it. Cause them people they probably need to go. Matter of fact, the people, the men and stuff at that event yesterday, the FBI need to go look at their computers and look and see make sure that they don't have no inappropriate images and videos on their laptops and computers and phones and stuff. Because them the people that they be catching on them stings. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Them stings that they have with them underage little girls and boys. Yeah. Them individuals at that park yesterday, those are the main suspects. Main suspects. They over here worry about the conservatives and what we doing. They the issue. We over here raising families. You know what I'm saying? We raise a family. We law abiding citizens. They over there touching and doing things with kids. Matter of fact, they want it to be okay that the kids are out there seeing half naked men and women walking around. They want the kids there. There was a kid that was like 11 years old, and I forgot what state this was, but he was at a bar or a strip club or something. It was like a gay bar or something. He was on stage stripping. He was like 11 years old. Grown adults around him watching him strip on stage. The people, I guess people just see, they love to say, y'all just hate us and y'all just be lying about what we doing and we don't do that stuff and we love the kids and stuff. Yeah, y'all love the kids, all right. Y'all, if that's love, I don't want to be hated. Right? If loving a kid is you watching the kid strip on stage, if that's love, I would really not want to see you hate that child. Because God knows what you're going to do behind closed doors. Yeah. See, we got to get this stuff right here stamped out. That stuff right there don't have a place in society. If y'all feel so strongly about what y'all believe in, why don't y'all go to over there to the Middle East, to Iran and Syria and what's the other countries? Iraq, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia. Why don't y'all go over there and tell them that y'all want to be a boy into a girl and girl into a boy and all that type of stuff? Why don't y'all go over there and try that and let us know the results? Because I'd like to know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all doing y'all look. Go instead of having your little picnic at the park in Prattville, Alabama, go on over there to whatever them cities are. Go to Baghdad. Go there to Baghdad and have your picnic over there with all your rainbow colors and stuff and see how that work out. I would sponsor one or two of y'all to fly over there. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay out my pocket just to see how it goes. I would love to see how it goes for you. How receptive and appreciated you are over there. Yeah. Let's see. Christy said, preach, little brother. Yeah, go over there and see how that lifestyle works out for you. I'm so for real. Like, Oh, by the way, man, I ain't even showed this. This is my pride flag. American flag, baby. That's my pride flag. Ain't none of that rainbow stuff. The rainbow was a symbol from God that he won't flood the earth again. He made a covenant with us, a promise that he will not flood the earth again. So when it rains up there, that rain comes down from the clouds, and we see that the rainbow colors in the sky. That's just his promise, right? That's just a reminder for us that of God's love for us. He flooded the earth because of these wicked people, like these people at the Prattville Park. He flooded the earth because of y'all to begin with, right? He had to start back over. And so, you know what I'm saying? He might start back over in a different way. He won't flood the earth again, but don't be surprised if something happened to you in a different way. Right? So y'all better repent for real. Yeah. US, yeah. Y'all better repent. I told one of them guys on I forgot what page I was on the other day. I told this guy, this dude, he looks so doggone fruity. Anyway, he was going out there to that thing that they did over there at the park. And I said, man, you need to repent. The kingdom of God is at hand. The man said, I have nothing to I can picture in my mind like him speaking and reading my comment and then replying. And when he said he had nothing to repent for, I could picture in my mind he like, I have nothing to repent for. Why would he be telling me that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that how they talk? Ain't that how they talk? I can picture him saying that because he looked squirmy and wormy, and he looked like if you said something to him that was like a little offensive, that he would like cry. That's what he looked like. That's what he looked like. Anyway, man, people be wondering like, why y'all so worried about what we do? Like we just LGBT. Why y'all worried about what we do? We not bothering y'all. Yeah, yes, y'all not bothering us. Y'all literally try to pass laws to where we have to accept you. What are you talking about? How you gonna tell us that? Ask us why we're worried about y'all. Y'all not doing nothing. Why are we trying to force our religion down y'all throat? Because y'all trying to force your gayness down our throat. Pause. No diddy. Y'all are doing that every day. What are you talking about? What is it with people when it comes to the Christians and we want to push godliness? We're wrong because we're pushing our agenda on other people who are not believers. That's what they say. I see this all the time. All the time. And I hope every last one of you demons is watching and listening. And shout out to people who are not demons, who are angels and great human beings. I appreciate y'all too. But I want them demons to listen for sure, because they're the ones who tell us we're wrong for shoving our religion down their throat and pushing our agenda on them and trying to force our ways, our lifestyle, right? But at the same time, they are making federal laws, state laws, local laws where they're pushing their agenda on us. Right here in Montgomery, Alabama, Mayor Reed tried to push the NDO, the non-discrimination or non-discriminatory ordinance. I don't know if y'all remember this. It was in 2021. That ordinance would have allowed men to go use a restroom for females, which means, and it was for any facility. So that means you could be at the YMCA, you could be at the mall, Walmart, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it would have forced these places to have a restroom or allow men to use the women's restroom. So if your little girl is in the restroom, a 6'3", 250-pound man that claimed to be a woman, he claimed to be Pippi Longstocking, he can go in there and use the restroom with your little girl. That's what Mayor Reed was pushing for. It was called the Non-Discrimination Ordinance. It was NDO. So miss me with the we're pushing our agenda when y'all are pushing that on us. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got a cousin that said that same thing the other day. My cousin hurt my heart with that, man. Talking something, man. Why? So I thought we weren't supposed to be pushing your agenda down our throats and stuff. I thought we were supposed to respect everybody. Like, dude, like everybody has an agenda. God has an agenda. Satan has an agenda. Everybody's got their agenda. It's just whose agenda works best for everybody. It just so happens that God's agenda works well for everybody. If everybody just follow his agenda, it'd be heaven on earth. But because Satan's agenda is more enticing to certain people, y'all y'all push for all that, what do I call it? Do what thou wilt. And people live and let live and all that type of crap. Which means basically F your God and we want to do what we want to do. That's what that means. Right? So that's y'all's agenda. But you're infringing on me though. When you start saying F my God and you want to do what you want to do, you can't do what you want to do. I got kids, I got a wife, you know what I'm saying? You ain't doing what you want to do. No. You gonna have boundaries. Ain't no live and let live. Ain't gonna happen. Man, about to get on. I'm about to say the wrong stuff on here. I ain't finna say nothing crazy though. My God, they better chill out. Ain't no live and let live. There are boundaries for a reason. You have a front door and a back door for a reason. You have windows in your house for a reason. Some of y'all have gated communities where you can't even enter the community without a passcode or something. You have that for a reason because you're trying to keep out individuals who are not supposed to be there. But for some reason, when it comes to a restroom or a shower, all of a sudden anybody can walk into any shower, restroom. Nah. We ain't gonna. It ain't happening. I better not see a man walking up in my little girl going to the restroom. A man better not follow her into the restroom. It just better not happen. It's gonna be a bad day for some people. It's gonna be a bad day for some people. It just But these little limp wrist, you know what I'm saying? These little limp wrist pansies, right? These little fruitcakes, pansy fairies. They want to be able to just do what they want to do and just say what they want to say, go in whatever restroom. No, not gonna happen, bud. Not gonna happen. You better take that to California, New York, Virginia, DC area. You know, they all for that. San Francisco, they love you over there. Even Atlanta love you. Go to Atlanta. They ain't that far away. It's like a 2-hour drive. Do 80 the whole way. You'll make it in 2 hours. Not here, not in Montgomery though. We ain't ready for that yet. Thank God they didn't pass that ordinance, that NDO. It didn't get passed. But best believe Mayor Reed ain't forgot about that. And best believe all them gays and stuff, they ain't forgot about that either. They want that push. They want that passed. That's why local matters. local matters. That's not a state issue. Now, the state can come in and say, we're not going to have any type of ordinance like that. Like, they can come say that. But these city, man, Mayor Reed has shown he really don't care about state law. And I'll tell you that because the proof of that is he changed a street in Montgomery. You're supposed to have state approval to change a street name. He changed Jeff Davis Avenue to Fred D. Gray Avenue without state permission, and the city got fined for that. Now, according to Mayor Reed and them, an anonymous donor covered that that fee, that whatever I just said, that fine. It was a fine. It was a $25,000 fine, I believe. And they said some anonymous donor took care of that. Maybe, maybe not. But the point is, Mayor Reed didn't care about state law. He went and did what he wanted to do. You know, that's what he about. So it's why local matters. Who's running your local government matters. And we need better leadership in Montgomery. Oh my gosh. Man, thank y'all for being here. Hit the like if you come in. Hit the like. If you're watching on A Better Montgomery, appreciate you being here. Montgomery needs a new mayor. Thank you for being here as well. If you're on City Watch, Wetumpka, City Watch Montgomery. If you're watching from my group, From Left to Right USA, appreciate you for being here. And also go over, all of you, please do this. Go over to the Captain's Quarters show on Facebook and follow that page. That's where I'm doing my lives. And I just hit the threshold. They made this new rule where you have to have at least 100 followers on your professional page to go live from it. So that's why I'm going live from it today. I didn't get to do it my last show because I was at like 90 or something like that. So I wasn't quite there, but I made it there. So here we are. We here. So I appreciate it if y'all go over there, hit that like, hit that follow. And I'm also right now streaming on YouTube as well. From Left to Right USA on YouTube. From Left to Right USA, all together, no spaces, on YouTube. So go over there and hit that subscribe. I appreciate it. I think I'm at 875, I think, over there. So building up. It's just important for people to get information. People watch the news and they watch they get their information from whatever source they get it from. I'm just, here to provide another source. That's all. I'm just another source. And I'm a person that's accessible, a person that's not gonna be, you reach out to certain individuals and they're like, there's they got all these like buffers between them and you. But like me, like you can just message me, you can holler at me anytime. I'm very accessible. So just here to give y'all information. Hopefully, educate it a little bit and speak about issues that we all face, right? Whether it be dealing with politics and faith and crime and education and so on and so forth. That's what I'm here for, man. The Captain's Quarter Show. I appreciate y'all for being here. I'm gonna wrap up now. I've been on here for like 2 hours and 10 minutes. So if you're watching the replay, I appreciate it. But yeah, if you just now joining and watch, coming in, go back and watch the replay because I covered the mass shooting in Montgomery, where 9 people were shot, and the 4 people were either hit by shattered glass, hit by cars that were fleeing the situation, and then there was also a woman who was murdered at a gas station at the corner of Bell Road and Troy Highway, which was looked like it was at Circle K. And I grew up right there, so I grew up in walking distance from that location. I remember when where that Circle K is right now. way back, there used to be a like a bar or a restaurant. It was like I just remember it was an old wooden like looking building. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, at in that same location, right there at the corner of Bell Road and Troy Highway, where the Circle K is, there used to be back in the 90s, there was this old wooden building. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I don't know if it was a restaurant or a bar or something. But yeah, that was way back, way back. But yeah, so I grew up right there. When Raceway used to be racetrack, it was a small little store. You walk in there, about 5 people walk in there, you're gonna be bumping into each other because it was so small. Like I don't even think they had an aisle. It was just you walked in, and it was just like racks of what you want to buy. Yeah, so I grew up right there, man. But yeah, man, the lady lost her life yesterday. Um, during the press conference that Mayor Reed held in regards to the mass shooting the night before. And yeah, mm, they got too much going on, Montgomery, man. Too much going on. But anyway, I covered those things, and also I did a comparison with other cities that are similar size to Montgomery. I brought up Augusta, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, Fayetteville, North Carolina, and Little Rock, Arkansas. All those cities have population almost exactly in line with Montgomery. And by and large, most of those cities have way less homicides. So, there again, and I brought up an article from Columbus, Georgia, where they were talking about uh lack of police. They had staffing issues, and they had police officers that spoke out to the news there about why they had a lack of police. And it was leadership, morale, low morale and leadership. That was the main things that tend to be the common reasons why police leave an agency. And so anyway, covered all that, and then talked about some other extra things. The whole LGBT parade, not parade, but they had like a little picnic party thing over there at Cooter's Pond Park in in Prattville yesterday. So I talked about that for a little bit. But anyway, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Hope y'all have a great rest of your Monday. Um, it was cloudy this morning. Now I see the sun is finally coming out behind them clouds. So who knows? Maybe it'll be a much sunnier day now, without all the heat. But thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful day and week, and I'll see y'all on the next go round. I appreciate y'all for hopping aboard with the captain for another show. I appreciate it. Until next time, I'm gone.